Hello everyone. I am the CPS Punisher. I am the CPS Punisher, and I stand before you today with a fierce urgency to address the dark realities surrounding Child Protective Services. I would like to let you know that Monday through Friday I host a roundtable show at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, which is in the United States time zones. I say this only because we have teamed up with some very amazing allies across the Atlantic Ocean. They are true spectacles of word warriors standing shoulder to shoulder with us day and night. Speaking out against the injustices they are facing on their soil, they back us up on ours. We are now a worldwide fighters alliance ready to confront these challenges together. We do have the guts for boots on the ground, but pen to pay a bill that we must get in this November. We need people to assist us in getting these documents to their respective persons for review. Sure, we are talking and raising awareness, but now we must take decisive action. Our kids are waiting far too long to be put back in the homes of their true biological, God-given parents.
Psalm 127:3. Children are a heritage from the Lord, offspring a reward from Him. This suggests children are a precious gift from God to be valued and cared for.
In the United States, a child a minute is taken into DHS, CPS, and so on custody. The reality is their pics are already selected, you just don't know it. Being perfect no longer matters. It's what the adopting families are looking for.
Who is it stealing the children, you ask?
From caseworker to the White House, the buck stops at all levels, just not where it is supposed to be. The services your family needs, we the people have paid for to ensure your reunification. Title 4 says, reunify at all costs. United, we stand means nothing to us when it comes to family values. Children are being ripped away from their families. Parents are reverting to addictive behaviors to cover the pain. The trauma caused by child removal is just being recognized, and the results are atrocious. Termination of parental rights is not healthy for anyone, just profitable for the people enforcing the lie. That's all.
It's time Washington listens to the cries of our children, the wails of their mothers, and the rage growing in the fathers. These are our children. Keep your damn hands off them. We are coming to act on the behalf of the children God gave us to protect, and you kidnapped.
That's Maury.
Hello, everyone. I am the CPS Punisher.
No,
and
we don't
I
want
stand before you.
All right. Wow, we're having some serious technical difficulties tonight. Gee whiz. Holy smokes. Hold on a second here. Let me get me in here. There I am. Sorry about that, guys. So welcome to Tuesday night CPS Victims Hunting for Justice. I am your host, CPS Punisher. We have had some technical difficulties there, so I'm a little frazzled. Sorry about that. My lights went out. Everything. This is crazy. So what I want to tell you guys is this. This is my warning to everybody that's watching. There are people out there that are trying to say that they're there to help you, and I don't know if that's really the case. Seems like a lot of dirtiness has gotten involved in this field of a situation that's already bad enough, which is CPS taking your kids. I've been doing this for quite some time now, so I consider myself to know a little bit about a little bit. And there seems to be a lot of people out there that are spreading malicious rumors. They're lying. They're saying people are bad that aren't bad. They're saying people are good that aren't good. You need to be sure that you investigate anything that you get from anybody, including me. I don't care if you feel it doesn't bother me one bit. Anything that we say is already backed up. We make sure that everything that we talk about is correct. Make sure that any information you get from anybody is true to what you're doing, because a lot of these people are out here spreading these things for themselves. It's bad enough already, people, that your kids have been taken by CPS, but it's even worse that there's people out here trying to make $1 off of you or trying to convince you that something is something that it's not, giving you fake hope for your children coming home. There's a lot of good people out there that are fighting for this cause, and it's unfortunate that we have to actually pick through which ones you should go to and flock to and which ones you don't. We'll do the best that we can to let you know who's good and who's bad, and I don't care what they think if we say that they are, but we won't say anything unless we know for certain that it is that way. So just know this: if we give you guys any information, then know it 100% it's pretty much damn accurate, and we're going to start moving towards being able to prove these people right or wrong. If we feel like they are some sort of, as Vinny would say, actors in this cause, we'll make sure that we got to do what we got to do to sift these guys out for you, because there's no reason to be anybody to be doing this stuff. You know, like I always say, pack it up. And that is so we can provide you with a safe place for you to come to and know that the information that you get is 100% accurate, is pure. It's not going to waste your time in your case. It's not going to waste anything, and it's safe for you guys to be at. So let's bring out Vinny. Let's bring out Ashley here with us tonight. Ashley's going to start coming in with us whenever she can, every night. So that's really cool, when she can get here and when she can be here. But let me see, where are these guys? See, I'm still having these technical difficulties. I have him up on the screen here, but let's see if I can get him here. There's Vinny's backdrop. Let me see, where the hell am I?
Today, with a fierce urgency to address the dark realities surrounding Child Protective Services.
This is ridiculous that I'm having this technical masquerade here. All right, there's Vinny, or a box. We got Vinny.
Yeah, I'm here.
Vinny, how we doing,
I'm
buddy?
throwing my. I'm doing good. Just throwing some laundry in the dryer.
All right, perfect. Ashley's here. Ashley, how are you doing tonight?
Oh, finding out some fun information, but I want to make a comment on your people getting wrong information. Also, people, if you're in anything like involved with anything at all, like case wise, do your research on the cases. Even if you're using an AI program, the AI is going to spit out cases referencing you can use. Go look up those cases as well, and at least get a history or a small window about what that case is about, so you use it correctly and you don't look stupid when you go to court.
Yeah, you don't want to look stupid when you walk into court.
Yeah, you just won't.
I would like to let you know that Monday.
Apparently, the Punisher likes to let us know that he's here Monday through Friday. You know.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you
Through
guys.
Friday, I host a
There I
roundtable
am,
show.
Monday through
There
Friday.
he is. Monday through Friday.
What is going on here? This is crazy. All this stuff is just. All right, here we go. I think
You fell
I've got
asleep
it.
on life today. You fell asleep
Yep.
on everything today, and it's like I need to catch up.
Yep, I did. I was lucky because my wife woke me up about 20 minutes before. She goes, "Baby, you're not having a show tonight." We've had like I think it's like 130 something consecutive shows. I have not missed one. So I think it's actually more than that. I think I just lied to everybody. I think it's like 180 or something like that, close to 200 on the YouTube channel. So I mean, I try to make sure that we're here every day. I know sometimes it's rough. The time is, we try for 8:30 every night, but sometimes things happen. But Ashley, what do you got for new news? You got any new updates of news that you've heard or things that you've seen?
Well, I found out some new cases that people might want to reference to their case as well. I've just been doing a lot of research with that, and then of course writing my writs and trying to tweak them and make them legalese and good enough for these state actors,
Yeah.
But just trying to soak up as much information I can, learning about codes and trusts and all that fun jazz.
Hey, do you remember the other night I brought up that stuff that the Nicholson, the stuff for the domestic abuse things?
Yes.
The 4 prongs.
Correct.
It's I mean, I don't think people understand quite the magnitude of what we talked about with that stuff, because most people are losing their kids because just domestic abuse happens in a home.
Yeah, it's
and
scary rate is happening.
Right, just because pretty much you get into an argument in front of your kids, and you'll all of a sudden you're boom, your kids are gone, and they're calling it domestic violence, and then they're making you go through all of these courses and classes, and the thing is the fact that your kid's taken away for those periods of time.
Darren, it came in.
They need to stop with that stuff. They need to make sure that they are getting the kids are getting the help that they need, because they take them away and then they put them right into a foster home, and they're not getting any assistance. These kids don't even know where the hell they've gone to.
Nope, they get isolated.
Right, and they're put into these foster homes where we're showing proof and time again that they're neglected. They're actually seeing physical abuse, if not sexual abuse. These things are bad. The foster homes are not being vetted the way that they're supposed to be, and a lot of this is caused by domestic violence.
Correct.
And this is not good. A mom, if she's and I'm just saying a mom because I know that men can be victim of domestic violence also, but I think that we will all agree that domestic violence is majority of a woman is the victim of domestic violence.
Yes.
Moms need to be with their children, especially if they are and were victims of domestic violence. A mom needs to reassure their child that they're okay, like that mom protected them, mom took the situation at hand, and because it's not the mom's fault that the person that they thought was who they were turned out to be a monster. It's a tough situation to be in as it is, because mom usually gets her heart broken, and I don't mean this as a joke wise, but her face too, and that's hard enough. But for a kid to be witness to that too, they need their mom to reassure them that they not be taken away and removed and put into a place. They need to be put in so that they're okay. Like that's just as much for the child as it is for the parents, you know. It's all right, Vinny. Vinny's having it too. So we have our friend Jess here. She was just hitting us up, seeing if she wanted us to have a guest, and of course we always will take a guest. So let's bring Jess in. She's someone that I sent this to the other day, and she is going to be this Nicholson thing will benefit her tremendously, because I mean, she reported her situation. I forget what absurd number it is, but they knew. She could tell us when she comes in, but she knew. The local police knew about it and everything, and they did nothing to help her. So in the interim, she lost her children when she finally acted out about it, and she's still fighting to get her kids back here. But this should help her, because they said, because they witnessed domestic violence. I just sent her the link that her kids were taken, and that's wrong. It's absolutely wrong, because the kids are already victim enough. You know, the kids are already victim to what they see and what they, nobody's perfect. That's the thing here, and that's what people they're tending to forget. Like, nobody's perfect. You know, everybody's got skeletons in their closets. Everybody's got things that haunt their past. Everybody doesn't make the right decision right then. But you know what? There's no book that comes with parenting that says you have to do this right. And there's no book with life either. You know, Ashley, how many times have you done something you're like, damn, that was stupid, and thank God no one caught a wind of what had happened, or so on. You know what I mean? Like,
way more many times than I even like to count. I mean,
right.
It's there's close calls where I don't even know how I got away doing what I did, and no one looked back twice. I was very, very lucky. So,
right. So, I mean, this stuff happens, and they're removing children. I mean, this is just absolutely asinine. These kids need to be with their parents, and I don't know how much more you can push that. But here's the thing: everything in Title IV funding, you know, we all complain about Title IV funding. Title IV funding says reunify. It's not Title IV. It's not the legislation that tells you that they need to take the kids. It's the people that are enforcing the legislation. So that's where the problem is. You know, we have senators, and we have congressmen, and we have legislators, and we have all kinds of advocates, and we have all of these things, and none of them are pressing the issue that Title IV funding says you get your money if you do the right thing. If you reunify, you get to have money. They don't say if you take the kids, you take the money. Now, that's not saying for the ASFA, the American Safe Family Act, that Bill Clinton then implemented, or he upgraded. That one does say for adopting children, we give you X amount of money. And that incentivizes, depending on who you talk to, that incentivizes taking children. Absolutely. If I knew that my job was based on the amount of kids that I have to adopt, I'm going to be the best at adopting kids, which then tells me that is incentivizing to remove children. So when they have things like that, you know, in their background, and what they're supposed to do for a job that says more kids adopted, more money you get. I mean, the bottom line is the dollar, right? That's pretty much what everybody works for. But we got Jessica here right now, so let's bring Jess in. Job was based on the amount of kids that I have to adopt. Hey, Jess, how are you? If you could kill your kids, which then tells me I know everybody's all excited. We get the feedback from your screen, so if you feel that noise a little bit, you know, in their background, and what they're supposed to do for a job that says more kids adopted, more money you get. I mean, the bottom line is the dollar, right? All right.
I think that might be good.
She'll fix that for us. So, Herbert, how are you, buddy?
Good. How you doing?
We're good. We're good. What's going on with your quest of figuring out why CPS is involved in our lives? Do you have any new information for us?
Yeah. Basically, when I've been talking to people, it's because of individuals not knowing what they're doing right or wrong. They may be right that it's okay to do certain things, such as driving the children around in a regular car seat because they don't have a baby seat. because the child is in a 3-point lap restriction seat. But it's not, because it's up to a certain age you have to keep a child in a car seat. I think every state has different ages. Am I correct?
Yeah, ages and sizes and all kinds of different regulations. I'm pretty sure that they are different
Yeah,
every state. Yes.
Yeah.
So I think every state has a different age requirement for a car seat for a child.
Right.
And you may have a child. I mean, don't age at me, for example. A child has to be in a car seat until what age?
Ashley?
In California, it's actually the height and the weight. It's not so much the age, because you could be 10 years old and still weigh 42 pounds and only, 310 or 311. So,
Okay. So you're okay. So then it's a height and weight thing. So you got a 10-year-old that looks like a 15, 16-year-old.
That would be okay as long as the seatbelt and the weight.
We're losing you, Ash. You're breaking up.
Oh, sorry. I've got full bars.
Yeah.
But yeah.
They don't like us with technology. We've learned this here. They hate us with technology. They find any way that they can to infiltrate us and make our technology not work.
They hear everything.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I understand Ashley saying, it has to do with size. What Ashley is saying is it has to do with size and weight.
Correct.
Okay, and I understand that. But there's a lot of parents that don't look into that to ascertain that information.
Right.
Correct.
And they just figure, well, I can't afford a car seat, and I'm not going very far, so it's okay to have the child sit in a regular seat.
Absolutely not.
No, it's not okay. It's not okay.
It's not okay if they're supposed to. You have to know your state requirements. If you don't know, that's bad parent. In my eyes, that's bad parenting on your part, because
it's also it's also not okay to pull up to the 7-Eleven because you want to get a quick pack of cigarettes and leave the car running and leave the child in the car in a baby seat and leave the car running to jump in the store and run back out again.
No, never.
Nope.
But they do it. People do it.
Well, all the time, yes.
They do it. But then they wonder why they got CPS on their butt. Now, they're not going to take the child because of that. But guess what? Now they've been earmarked as a potential, let's watch this family.
Red flag.
Right, they've been red
They're red flagged. That's it. But that's how it starts. You're red flagged, and then they stay on top of you from that point. Or you don't buy the proper food for the infant, and you give it what mama used to give you when you were younger, which wasn't baby food. It was mashed up potatoes and stuff like that, whatever. And the doctors are saying that that child needs to have a certain formula, and you're not administering that formula to the child, and the child's not gaining weight. Now you're a target.
Yep.
That's reflected in their eyes. Yeah, it's sad. It's really sad to say, but that's what our society is going to do.
A lot of parents think about how they were raised when they were younger by their parents, and they're just copycatting that, thinking it's okay. Well, at that time it was okay, but now that CPS has set rules, it's not okay.
Right. Since they've established that, absolutely.
Exactly.
And it's funny because, we used to ride around in the backs of trucks and cars and car seats and, like all of this kind of stuff, and that's just not acceptable. And now, if you're right, Herbert, if you get caught up with one of these, all you need is one of these mandated reporters to have wind that, the cop pulls you over, sees that you don't have the proper car seat. They call DHS. And then they come.
In California, the child endangerment. You don't have the car seat for your child, you are endangering your
Actually,
child.
you're still hazy.
I'm sorry.
I don't know what they're buzzing you. Go out. Yeah. Hey, Ash, try going out and coming back in because they might have you fragged. Yeah. But I'm going to bring Jess out here. Jess is back with us, I believe. Waiting to see her come back in the camera here. But Herbert, you're absolutely right. Those simple little things that you think that you're just doing to get over with quickly are what will in turn get CPS to get involved in your life. And then you have a hell of a time getting them out of there once they're here.
Sure. Once they're there, you're going to have a hard time getting them out. What I want to do is try to help people from going there.
Right. All right. There's Jess. Jess, how are we?
Hi, Darren.
How are we doing?
I'm okay. How are you?
How goes your battle?
It's all right. I have visitations back with my children, so I guess it's okay.
Oh, good.
But it's
So
still
that's going
nothing but bullshit.
right. Did you
May I ask Jessica? This is Herbert, Jesse. May I
Hi.
ask you a question?
Yes, of course.
How did you flag CPS? What made you a target?
Domestic violence.
Okay. Of the domestic violence, it was between you and spouse. So where does CPS come in?
So, he almost killed me. And then CPS,
Sorry to hear that.
I never was involved with DHS or CPS or anything. I have 3 children. My oldest one's 23. And he decided that he wanted to put his hands on me and literally almost kill me. And then CPS came involved. And they pulled my kids out of my house, all eyes. They went and visited him in the jail because he got locked up for what he did to me because the neighbors called the cops. And he's in prison right now. And they came and pulled my kids 2 weeks later on false accusations.
What was a false accusation on your part?
So they came to. I worked nights. I was a manager for a cleaning company, so I got home like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. I had an appointment for them to come to my house at 8:30. So I woke up and I was half asleep. So they said I was on heroin. And then they said that my son was lethargic from the fight that happened 2 weeks prior from being thrown around from his father.
Yeah. So
how could they say that you were on? How could they say that you were on drugs? You can't look at somebody and know what drug they're on.
Thank you. And I passed my drug test and my hair follicles.
Yeah, that's what they do. They will say that. They'll say that you're sweating because you're sweating and you're scared and you're frantic and you're shaking, that it's signs of detoxing. But in all reality, you're just nervous about the situation. They'll take anything that they can find that looks like what their playbook says is a adverse reaction to doing drugs, and then they'll say it in their reports. It says, "Oh, she was
How are
sweating."
you going to be when you wake up first thing in the morning after working a 10-hour shift? Like,
right, exactly.
And after
exactly.
being so, you know what I mean?
You mentioned something about the neighbors. The neighbors made a phone call?
Yes.
And they called the police, obviously.
Right, but the police were at my house every day because they were constantly calling because he was very, yeah.
Okay, so the fact that the police were constantly coming to your house, and you have children at your house, there's children at your house, the police are coming to your house, that immediately put the flag up.
You think they would have called a year prior when he was here. Do you know what I'm saying? Not when he was pulled out and not here no more.
No, I mean, you were on radar because of so many times the police were called to your house.
No. Yes, I understand I was on the radar, but what I'm trying to say is he was put in jail. Like, he's still in prison right now. This was 15 months ago. He's doing a 4-year sentence.
Right. They came after the fact.
Did you have your children? Did you have your children while he was in jail?
They came 2 weeks after he was in jail. And they went and interviewed him before. They went and interviewed him before they came and saw me and my kids.
So this is what we're saying is that when they were involved in this situation, CPS was nowhere to be found. Once the situation was handled and maintained and he's locked up, 2 weeks later, here she's trying to put her life back together from being abused. This guy's in jail for all the bad things that he's done. And now here comes CPS and they take her kids.
And they take your kids because they claim that you're not fit to take care of your kids, right?
Because of domestic violence.
Domestic violence, yeah.
Instead of helping her when the situation was at hand and helping with the problem then, they come after everything's happened, after everything's been done, after he's been locked up and she's done all the getting beaten and all the legwork that she's had to do to get this guy out of her life. Then here comes CPS to take her kids. That's wrong.
And they tried to blame it on my mental health and substance abuse issues. And like I said, I had hair follicles done, drug tests. I've done 4 mental health evaluations, and I passed every single one of them.
Have you had issues with substance?
Never. No.
Okay.
Yeah, see, this is
How
the
much
thing,
sense
man.
does that make? Does that make any sense?
What's that?
Huh?
What did you say?
Does that make sense?
No.
No,
Makes zero.
if you're not substance abuse, I don't see where they would go after you for that.
That's what they do,
How
man.
about him?
That's the harsh
Thank
Did
reality.
he have substance?
So they went.
Did he
Like
have
I said, the
substance
reason why they
abuse?
came after me so hard, they went and interviewed him in jail before they came and saw me and my kids. And he told the CPS worker that me and my daughter were all messed up on drugs and doing this and that and blah blah blah. And they believed everything he said.
Jesus. Regardless, it's the fact that you dealt with the problem.
Yeah.
You made it. You dealt with the problem literally, physically by yourself, to the point that you almost were killed, and you finally were able to get him out of your life and out of your house. And then after all this is done, here they come in with their capes on. They're going to save the day. You know what I mean?
Did
Like,
you have
where were they when
did you
they
have
where
an,
was it when you needed the help?
did you have an attorney?
Yes, I did.
And what did your attorney advise you of?
What do you mean? What she advised me? She told when I went to court because I.
Like in other words, your attorney gave you advice.
Yeah, no.
What
She
your
worked.
attorney
No,
was
so
defending you.
it was a state appointed lawyer, and she, yeah, no.
No, that's when she found us, Herbert. Remember?
Yeah. And now my lawyer, when I lost the kid, she's working for the state of Maine, DHS.
Oh, really? So now
Yeah.
she's flipped sides?
Yep.
Okay, so she didn't know that was going to happen beforehand, right? She was probably giving you every bit of assistance that she was. That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
It doesn't even make sense. Like, I sound crazy talking about it because my kids, I've never had an issue like with anything. Like, it's a very hard pill to swallow. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
I sure do know what you mean. But have you brought the this information up that I brought to you the other day?
Yes.
What did they say about that? I'm curious.
I'm still waiting for a response.
You're still, of course, because this stuff's not supposed to be out there, because they're taking kids away from people every day because of this domestic violence thing, just like situations like yours.
Mm-hmm.
But this thing here says certainly Nicholson's 4 factors for judicial consideration says that for this stuff to happen, there needs to be imminent harm, the parental care, individualized agency support, and harm removal. Those 4 things have to exist for them to take your child in for domestic violence. And they definitely are not doing that. That's not anything near what they are taking kids for. They're going in just because parents are arguing and removing kids, because the kid goes to school and says, my mommy and daddy fight. Which mommy and daddy don't argue and fight? Like, let's be real here.
Well, again, from my studies of that, if there's arguing and fighting going on between mommy and daddy, that's very agitated. That can be, a lot of cursing and yelling and screaming. That can be a flag for CPS. Yes.
Oh, well, yes, obviously, but you think that CPS would have been involved the 35 times the police were here when he was living here in my home.
Correct.
Not when he was called, not when he was out of my home.
Nobody called CPS.
That's the point.
Because he was holding my son hostage, and they came to my house with guns. They pulled my,
CPS people came to your house with guns?
No, the cops did.
No, the police.
When the whole thing happened.
All cops are going to come to your house with guns.
No, they had him surrender. That they were going to shoot him if he didn't let my son go.
Okay, but here's the thing: the police dropped the ball by not calling CPS.
I call CPS the times they were here before he got arrested.
I'm totally agree with you. They should have called CPS the second time.
Exactly.
But they were being nice. But here's the thing: here's a case, Darren, where the police didn't call CPS. They just figured, okay, we'll handle it. They didn't call CPS, so they did her a solid by not calling CPS.
Yeah, but not 35 solid. You know, every time they
Well,
come in there,
35 sound, but the thing is, on the second call of a domestic dispute and there's children involved, usually the police department won't call CPS, and they didn't. They did not.
No, I understand what you're saying 100%, but it's not like it was just like a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 time incident. Do you know what I mean? Like it was an everyday thing.
Right.
And so the police in this case were way too nice.
I guess you could say that.
Yes, no, you're right.
Yeah.
But or maybe she was reported and they just didn't, because see, this is what we find too.
No.
People who really need it never get it. They never show up. That's why we have kids dying in the system. These kids will be left alone for too long because CPS is missing their, you know, it's whether the police or them, but it doesn't matter. Regardless, now she's seeing a window because now she's gone from no visits to she's getting visits to her kids. So she's making moves to get back because they don't take away your visits and then give them back to you unless you're making progress. And that's what's happening. Now we have this information to give them. And, you know, maybe she's going to be able to use this to maybe their kids should be coming home. How long have your kids been gone, Jess?
15 months.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, 15 months.
Almost 2 freaking years, man. 2 freaking years over what? You know, like who's going to replace that time?
Yeah. I'm sorry?
Who's going to replace that? Who fixes that time that you lost with your kids?
Yeah, it's no one fixes it. It's very yeah. It turns you into
just curious. Okay, I'm just curious. Could you have walked away from that situation?
That's a whole loaded
question. Kids.
That's not a fair question.
It's a loaded question, but could you have walked away from that situation to another in-laws, or not in-laws, but other family members with your kids to get away from this dude?
She had nowhere to go, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before.
Okay. Okay.
No.
And did you try to shoot for a what do you call it? A restraint order?
No.
Okay. Because at least with the restraint order,
because call me a dummy, call me whatever you want, but I was the household provider. I was the only one that worked, and he babysat the kids. So I was needing to keep a roof over my.
So
kids.
you were relying upon him to take care of the kids while you were out working.
Correct.
Gotcha. So you were between a rock and a hard place.
Correct.
Okay.
That's what a lot of people are, man. You know, this is why these domestic violence groups need to step up their game and help these women that are in these situations.
What could domestic violence team could have done for her? Just using her as an example. What would you make up in your brain? What could they have done to help her after the first call for the police?
You provide them with assistance.
They could have put me in a shelter. They could have helped me with my kids. Could have helped me move. You know what I'm saying? Put me in a better place.
Relocation services, the number one thing that people need when they're in domestic violence situations, and not put into a shit ass shelter, you know, where there's a bunch of homeless people and they're all in an open tent, talking like nice, you know, like a place that they can raise their kids.
Exactly.
What do you recommend could have happened, Darren?
I just told you. I just said it. Relocation services is the number one thing that women in domestic violence situations need. And they don't need a homeless shelter to go to. They need a nice place to go to that they can live with their children. They don't want to bring their kids to
I've always had a home. I'm not going to bring my kids to a fucking, you know what I mean? Like they were never.
Exactly. You can't just bring them to a freaking bullshit, you know, whatever.
And when we fought, my kids were never involved with it. Like they were sleeping. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like they were involved or being hit. My kids were never abused. Ever. Never. Ever.
No. See, according to CPS, your children were abused with observing and hearing what you two were going at each other. That's the abuse.
CPS came to my house 2 weeks after he beat me. Okay. And they said that my 3-year-old was lethargic from being thrown around because my son was in my arms. How is a baby 2 weeks later still lethargic and alive and moving? You know what I'm saying?
Right. How's that baby?
It all happened. The medics were here and examined him and checked him out and made sure he was okay.
Right. How is the baby that directly affected by this stuff? How is that? The baby wasn't affected at all.
It doesn't make any sense. Sense. And like I said, I can send you my paperwork. You know, it's mind blowing. It's really mind blowing.
Right.
Well, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, it's good in a way. One part of it's good. The police didn't call CPS right away. But on the other part, maybe they should have called CPS right away. But that would have hurt you. If they would have called CPS right away, your kids would have been gone faster. So they didn't call CPS.
I don't know about
34 times.
You went to jail, so how much faster could you want it?
No, I'm trying to say. She said the police have been to her house over 30 times. And out of those 30, say 20 times. Out of 20 times, the police never got CPS involved.
Yeah, no, absolutely it is. And it's not interrogation time either.
I'm not interrogating. What I'm trying to do is understand what happened so I can deliver this message to other people to help them avoid being a victim of CPS.
The message is this: people of domestic violence have a hard time getting out of their situations, first of all. Second of all, it's a shitty situation to be in. Third of all, they don't need to be interrogated while they're on my show, period. That's the way it's going to be. So thank you, Herbert. I understand what you're doing, but this is going to stop. Thank you.
You're welcome.
What do you think about this? Hey, Vinny.
And I'm not trying to sit here and say I'm perfect and I understand what I did was wrong, but there's no reason for my kids to still be gone. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I don't want you.
No, I don't want you to feel like you're being interrogated.
Oh, you are for sure.
I was interrogating you. No, I'm saying, did you feel I was interrogating you?
There we go. That's what happens when you interrogate someone on my show.
Darren?
It's not right. Yes,
how
are we doing, Durham?
I'm sorry.
Okay. This lady here is going through what many women are in the UK. That's police failings. That's CPS failings. They should have got this mother and child to a safe place. She was the one being hit up on. So if the police have come to your house that many times, you could have died from whatever you were having to endure. I'm sorry, but that's down to the CPS and the police failing you as a mother. Okay, in this country we have mother and baby units where they're taken to obviously a place of safety, and they're not full of homeless people. These are full of women and children who are in the same position. Okay, and they have people there that can talk to. I know for a fact it's hard to get away from someone who's domestically violent because my ex-wife was domestically violent. So being a male, I know how you feel. But that's definitely police failings, because there's no way I would, if I was a police officer, I would have tried, after the first time, I would have tried to get you help. Period. I would have.
Yeah. People don't understand. If you're not in domestic violence situation, they don't understand. You know, the first thing is everybody saying, well, why didn't you just leave? Why didn't you just leave? You know,
because you can't just leave.
Darren, it took me 16 years. Everybody on the outside of the fence looking in could see it. But when you're in there,
you can't just leave.
You can't, no.
It's hard.
Right. You feel like your security and your safety, even though you're being beaten and this, that, and the other.
No, and now looking back, like that was not the best thing to do. You know.
I know, but it's like even if you're being shouted at or belittled, that's all abuse. It's all abuse at the end of the day. And I don't sit here and judge you as a person because I've been in that same situation, and nobody should be judging anyone, to be honest.
Right. It's a tough thing, and until you're out of it, you probably don't even realize. I've never been involved in a domestic violence situation.
And excuse my language, and I'm sorry to interrupt, but that's the most fucked up part about it was because I didn't even realize the shit.
That's what I was going to say.
After, do you know what I mean?
Yep.
And also,
you know what that's called?
Also, when you've been through domestic violence in the past, it gives the CPS and children's services here in the UK to come and take your children in the future, because they say you're a vulnerable person, even though it could be 10 years down the line, and they'll still come and say, "Oh, you've had domestic violence in the past, so now you can't look after a kid because you're literally prone to it again," and that's just bullshit.
Yep. Yeah, that crystal ball once again, right? Look down the line.
Crystal ball effect. Yeah.
But yeah, like I say, the caseworker could walk out of their house and get hit by a bus when they have your kid in your arms, and you
Well,
didn't see
not
that, or did you?
Exactly.
Go ahead, Vinny.
not only that. I mean, not only that. You gotta figure that person was a complete narcissist.
Right. Yep. They don't. The thing is you don't ever realize it until you're out of the situation. You don't see it.
So I told the state that I didn't realize it once I came to my 2, and they keep trying. Like I said, I've been through 4 mental health evaluations. They keep trying to tell me that I'm crazy, but I don't. There's no understanding. It's like excuses. Because I've passed every single one. I'm not on any medication for like depression or anxiety, which I think I should be, but I'm not.
No, you probably should be with everything you've been through. Good thing.
Definitely.
Right.
Can I ask you a question? Have you ever done any domestic violence awareness courses?
Oh yes, I have. Yep.
You have.
Yep.
And the CPS don't recognise that.
They do, and they don't really care for me, because when this all happened, like I was very angry. Like I didn't realize I was angry with the whole situation because I couldn't function that my children were gone, so I wasn't too nice to her. So they really don't care. No.
Right.
No.
And they have to expect this, right? Like, what do they expect, that you're going to be their best friends because they took your kids? I mean, what are you supposed to welcome them with open arms and come on in my house, have some tea and trumpets, right? Come along.
That's my way of thinking. They expect us to do cartwheels. You've just taken my children. You want me to be your bestie mate?
Exactly.
No, I don't think so.
Exactly.
It ain't going to happen.
Exactly.
Oh, it just cracks me up that they think that they have that. That you're supposed to, like, it's like the whole days of the slaves, right? The master. Oh, you gave me some food, I should love you. You know what I mean? Like, what the hell are you talking about? You whipped me all day long, made me work. I have nothing, but because you gave me a freaking biscuit, I'm supposed to think you're the best thing ever? It's ridiculous.
They put me on anger management.
I'm gonna put Donnie on for a second, Darren.
Yes.
How you doing?
Johnny, how are you, man?
I'm doing great. I got a little bad news for everybody that's out there. They don't give your kids back. They don't. My daughter took my daughter from me, and they wrecked her life. My youngest daughter, they took her when she was 14. They kept her until she was 18. My daughter, when they took her, she had a credit and a half in school. Guess what she has now? A credit and a half. They never sent her to school.
Are you kidding me?
I swear to God. Swear to God. Makes
Jesus,
me want to go to school. You know what I mean? Like, how can they take my child and not send her to school? They'd put me in jail for that shit. You know what I mean?
The guy that's on here, we have educational neglect, right? Is that what they call that?
They took my daughter. Swear to God, when they took my daughter, she was on the honor roll. All right, she never missed a day of school. Okay, never smoked a cigarette, never did a drug, never kissed a boy. Within 3 months, she was doing drugs, not going to school. All right, was kissing boys. She was molested by the people that took her in the children's home. You can look it up. It's online. They had an Amber Alert for my daughter from running away because they molested her. All right. Then the guy that molested her, her family adopted her for fucking 3 months and turned her back in because they didn't want her. They worked for the fucking
Wow. But yeah, you can't get her back, your kid back. You're trying and trying and trying. They won't give you your kid back, but they'll give it to the hands of some sort of perpetrator that is doing ungodly things to her. It makes so much sense.
They took my daughter because of financial shortcomings, which is against the Constitution. Because the situation I was in at that point in time, I financially couldn't have a roof over her head. So I was staying with a friend of mine who was considered by law, it was considered a trap house. You know what I mean?
Isn't that where they're supposed to jump in and help you, though? Instead of taking your kids.
To help.
Yeah.
That's what they're there for.
You know.
Tony, how long did it take you? How long did it take them to terminate your rights?
It took them a year and a half, 2 years. And me jumping through.
So you did it right by the book.
Yeah, year and a half, 2 years. I jumped through all their hoops. The state, I was in New Hampshire, so the state said they wouldn't do a hair follicle test. So I said, I'll pay out of pocket for a hair follicle test.
They wouldn't accept it.
I mean, nope, they wouldn't accept it.
Right.
I mean, and their grounds for making me go through all the hoops was the mother of them had them for their whole life. I got them every summer, you know what I mean? But she was going through hard times, so she dropped the child off in my lap. And when they dropped the child off in my lap, they went back 2 years. 2 years ago, I went to rehab on my own accord to get clean.
Yep.
And they used that against me because it was a year and like 3 months or whatever. And they said they can go back years. If you have any drug issues, within 2 years, they can go back and take the children from you and evaluate.
Wow. Jesus. And see, they align themselves with the drug users because relapse, if anybody knows anything about recovery, is relapse is part of recovery. So that's how they do this. They go and they take your kids, and then they say that, like you go get clean, you do rehab and all that. But then they're like, oh, you have the potential for relapse. You can't use that against somebody. You can't use that at all. Like you don't have a crystal ball. You don't know what people are facing. And it's just, like they use those terms that the actual people that put you into those classes use. Like for instance, I don't think relapse is part of recovery. You know what I mean? Like relapse is a relapse. But you can't sit there and say that because you've recovered that you're going to relapse. That's unfair. That's not right to put that into someone. They're going to relapse when you take their freaking kids away from them. And that's what their strong point was. They're going to relapse when you do screwed up shit to them to remove their kids or to infiltrate their family and you ruin their support. That's when someone's going to relapse, not when they're living a good life with their kids, going to school, doing the good things that they're supposed to. Relapse is caused by the things that they do.
Well,
That's their tactic.
My daughter finally turned 18. She's out of their care now. They kept her for the 3.5 years that they could. And my daughter, when I was talking to her on the phone, when she told me that she didn't have an education, that she's only got a credit and a half still, she told me, she goes, Dad, I argued with them at first, but it's like talking to the cops. No matter how much you fight against it, there's nothing you can do. They're going to do what they want. And she literally didn't go to high school, didn't have a tutor the whole fucking time. How is that constitutional?
Wow.
I mean, the only child out of my 4 children that I have, the only child that didn't graduate high school is the one they took. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's fucked.
And then she came, as soon as she got out, did she come running right back to you?
Yes. Yes.
That's it. That's it.
It's just crazy, though. They're not going to give them back. My brother Adam lost his kids. His wife died. The case was against his wife, right? And when they took his kids, he went to the Superior Court above the District Court. And the Superior Court ruled that they had to give the kids back. He went back into court, and they said, no, we're not giving your children back. We don't care what the court says.
Yep.
They overruled the courts that they're supposed to. The judges are doing whatever the fuck they want, and they take your kids. They have $4 million a year in New Hampshire for every kid they take.
You have a 12% chance. 12% chance of getting your kid back once they take them.
It's ridiculous.
That's not good odds.
I got arrested in court because I flipped out on the judge. I flipped out on the judge. I told him how it was. I said, you've had my child. Fucking now she's doing drugs. She's flunking out of school. She's not going to school. You know what I mean? She's sleeping with boys. She's been molested. I said, and she was on Imperfect before you took her. Who's doing a better fucking job? Me or you, motherfucker?
And I wonder how many people and how many parents are out there that's like you, that this is what's happened to their. This happened to their kids.
Same here.
Yeah.
It's the same.
It's ridiculous. So where's the outrage? Where's the outrage from the people in America saying, "Whoa, we can't have this"? Where's everybody? Because everybody looks at you like you're a piece of shit, right? Like,
we need a fucking revolution. We need a revolution.
Yeah.
We need to take
that
back. This is bullshit.
Yeah.
There's more of us than them. Trump is right.
Yeah.
We need a revolution.
You're absolutely right. 100%. And it's coming. It's definitely coming. There's no doubt about it. They can't just, and as soon as everybody starts waking up, as soon as the people in the white picket fence yards and all of that start losing their kids, then maybe we'll start to see when things get changed. And when the people that don't think that they do, it's not a matter of if they take their kids, it's when. That's what it is. And people don't realize it. They're just slowly moving up the chain.
It's not people that have nothing either. It's not the kids that need to be taken. It's the people who have money. They're taking their children. The people that can fight for them. The people that can go to court and fight for their children. They're taking those children. You know what I mean? Because the revenue's more money. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Then they try to charge you, and the revenue's more money. The child is actually being abused, being in a city.
They don't want that. They don't want damaged goods.
Don't we know it?
That's the facts. That's why those kids die. It's unfortunate. I'm not meaning that to be rude, but that's the fact. Oh, they got us. They're fragging us here. I lost you, Donnie. You back? There we go. We got him back. No, lost him.
You know exactly what they're doing to people. They ship you over the edge on purpose.
Of course they do. I mean,
that's their tactics, man.
if you guys can get back, hold on one second. You guys get back, Jess and Donnie, and we'll bring you back in. See if you guys get some service back. Yeah, this is Durham. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there. Go ahead with what you were going to say.
It's their tactics. They cause more mental health in children and parents. Parents are killing us. They're happy when a mother kills herself because they've got the child. They don't give a shit about parents. They're making the money off those children. They're putting them into fucking worse situations than they have been in before. You know.
Right.
I mean, that woman, that lady there, right? You can see that those parents are loving and caring parents. You can see that. You know. If you've got a problem, fucking do the job you're fucking meant to and help these people. Don't just come in the fucking door and take the children away for fucking whatever, making money off our fucking children. And like he says, we need a revolution. Damn right, we need something. Damn right. Darren, I'm so really sorry, right, but that's really got me angry listening to that man.
No, you should be angry.
I fucking feel for him because I know exactly what he's going through.
I mean, how can they go into these houses, take these kids away? Look at, I don't ever talk about them. Look at my wife and I. We have 2 houses. That kid had everything that she needed in his whole world. And they come and take it away for what? Because I was accused of something that the state dismissed charges on. And they still took our child. What did my wife do? Absolutely nothing. And they still took it from her.
Yeah.
So it's asinine. It's not a matter of if, it's when. They're just waiting for people to screw up. These tent cities listen, what people don't understand is that budget that the CPS is working on is one of those use it or lose it things. How do they get their budget? Taking kids. If they don't take the kids, they don't get the money. I know, like Raj used to say, no, they replace the money. Bullshit. They take it from them first and then replace it. So if they don't have that budget to operate on, to do and pay their caseworkers and all that stuff, they don't have the things that they need. So now they got to take more kids to implement more money so that they can get the resources that they need. That's it. That's the simple way of looking at it. They take our kids for money.
Exactly. I mean, I was looking at something through the night last night, right? Through the middle of the morning, and agency social workers in this country, right? So I had a look at the job advertising, £42 an hour, right? £42 an hour. And they do more than 8 hours work. They sometimes do 10, 11, 12. You calculate that over a month, how much money they're getting.
Right.
Per fucking week or per fucking month, per annum.
They're averaging $80,000 to $100,000 in this country.
It's fucking crazy.
It's insane. If Brenda was on there, money for them.
It is all about money.
Yep. That's all it is. That's all this is money. I go out on a limb and I say that the child trafficking, if you guys want to see what a child trafficking thing is, there's a special on YouTube. It's not a special. It's called Through the Eyes of the Devil. You watch that and then come back here and tell me that the kids in this United States should be taken by CPS, because 84% of the kids that get taken by CPS get found throughout this world as far as being children trafficked. And that's a UN number. 84% of the kids that they rescue throughout the world have come through Child Protective Services in the United States. So you go watch that special on YouTube, Through the Eyes of the Devil, and you tell me how much this makes sense, what they're doing. And I will tell you right now that if you're weak stomached and this bothers you, do not watch that film, because it's through the eyes of a child trafficker, and they tell you what the real ins and outs are of this. And that's where these kids that are missing in the United States end up.
We need to start a compound.
We have big problems here.
We need a revolution.
Yeah, we've got to do something
revolution.
Just for the sheer fact to protect the children. Because we're going to have no heritage. We'll have no children. We'll have nothing. It's bad enough that CPS supports the addictomy and the gender mutilation or genital mutilation and all of that stuff. That's what your kids are getting when they get taken from you.
They're creating a fucked up world.
It's disgusting.
That's what they're doing.
So
damaged children become damaged adults. Yep. Simple.
Yep. Just creating a generation of people that don't know anything, if they're even going to make it that far, because the suicide rates are so high.
Yeah.
My daughter had to talk me out of when they molest my daughter. They called me up. They molested her. She had an Amber Alert. You can look it up. You know what I mean?
I wonder how many parents, they keep this number under wraps, but I wonder how many parents have gone out and tried to retrieve their children under conditions like that.
There's lots in this country, but they always seem to take the children. The police will come in and they take them back to the abusers.
Yep.
Every time, every fucking time.
Yep. That's the thing. It's got to start with the police departments. The police departments need to realize, maybe it's time for them to actually be police instead of pencil pushers and writing tickets. They need to be police to these situations. Take the abuser out. Don't make the mother be the guilty party here, or the abused person. No way. Take the person that's abusing out of there.
Well, they need to be trained, but most police officers are probably the most disgusting people in our society. You know what I mean? They sign up to use their gun and kill people, get away with it. You know what I mean? They're not out there to help us.
Yep.
You know what I mean? The devil's in sheep's clothing.
Yeah, that's the facts. They've gone far from what they used to be with it. Why did they take protect and serve off of the police cars?
It's not what they do anymore. It's uphold law. That's what it is. They don't protect and serve.
I agree. Well, that's that. I'm fired up now. Let's do some last thoughts and bring Herbert back in. Let's get some last thoughts out here.
Darren, I sent you a couple links you may want to look at.
All right, where'd you send them, Benny?
I sent them to the number that you sent the link out from.
Okay. Let's take a look at these. Yeah, if we want to do some last thoughts, let's get them fired up.
All I can say is, don't get your hopes up. They're not giving your kids back.
Yeah, I like that one, buddy. I do. That's the facts. But you got to keep fighting, Don. You got to keep fighting, right?
Yeah. We need a revolution. It's
Yes,
time
sir.
men are men. You're not taking
You know what? There it is. The father needs to come back in and be the father.
Yeah.
Because they manipulated the father right out of being the man that he's supposed to be, the protectorate of the family.
Yep, they do.
Time for men to be men again.
Yes, sir. That's the best thing I've heard in a long time, Donnie. That's great stuff. I'm going to pop this up what Vinny just sent me here, guys. Right here. Oh, let's see if it'll let me here. Oh, signing up. Look at this. Man has lost sight of parents and children's rights to be together. And it's this article going down into this, to the case of Barney A, which that's a well-known case up here in Maine that they took the kid for no reason whatsoever. Like it says here, child welfare can typically only enter the public sphere when they reach the criminal justice system, often because of the horrific allegations of child abuse. These cases tend to generate criticism of DHHS for not doing enough to remove kids from their parents or caregivers before the violence. The Barney A case highlights a different problem, when parents are deprived of their rights and their children unnecessarily. That's exactly what they're talking about. Stealing people's kids that don't deserve to be taken. It's ridiculous. All right. We got Donnie's last thoughts. Herbert, final thoughts?
Yeah, as I was listening, I think, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. I think that there should be an attempt when a child has to be removed from a home to remove that child and place it with a family member.
Yep.
That's the way it's supposed to be done, but they don't do it.
Yep.
Well, in a lot of cases, like the other young lady, they couldn't do it because she didn't have any family member.
Right. Well, that's the thing.
So what do we do in a situation like that? We can't stick them up in some kind of group home. That's worse.
So they need to. This is a case by case thing. This is one thing. That's why these standard laws don't work, because this is a case by case analogy. You can't take someone out of something and put them into something worse. That just doesn't work. So none of this is working.
And as far as the police not calling CPS in all the cases, I think that's a good thing. I never call CPS. I always say, "Where's Grandma? Where's Auntie?" You know.
I agree.
You're going to jail, but we're gonna take the kids to the station house, and you have your aunt come down, your grandma come down, pick up the kids.
Yep, that's the way it needs to be. But we're not doing.
But I know in many cases it is that way. There are cases where CPS is called in by the police, but not in every case.
Yep. Yep.
And on the police cars, it's still there. I don't know about in the UK, but here in the United States, it's still protect and serve.
It definitely doesn't say that up here. They got black on black police cars now. What kind of shit is that?
Yep.
That's
they got all
Maine.
black ones that are that have Maine plates now too.
Okay,
Yep.
see, that's Maine. So every state is different. So when you guys talk, you can't use your state to make it the same as Texas and Tennessee and
Well,
Louisiana.
No. But I mean, for them to go as crooked as to have a state cop car with an unmarked.
Without a state plate.
And they're allowed to have unmarked vehicles. They do that a lot. But I mean, your patrol cars that are marked should have markings on there that says we protect and serve.
Our cops in our town have black on black police cars.
Yep.
Okay, so they don't have, like, if I came up there, I wouldn't know it was a police car.
Well, you would know it because it's a black on black.
Yeah, but you could buy a black on. But you could personally go to a dealer and get a car that's black on black with black tinted windows.
Yeah, their stickers are black. Everything's black on the cars.
Let's just put it this way, Herbert. Their most expensive car in their fleet is a Porsche 911.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, Maine is a whole different animal comparison to other states.
Yeah, it's not the way life should be. That's for damn sure.
Nope.
Yes, I agree. And those are my last words.
All right. Durham, you got some last words, buddy?
Yes, stay strong, trust no one, and trust your own instincts when it comes to CPS and children's services in the UK.
Sir. Vinny?
As always, keep fighting, never give up. Hate your caseworkers as much as you hate their damn supervisors.
Yep. I'm going to go with, I know as much as Bonnie said that the chances of you getting your kids back and they don't give them back, there is some truth to what he's saying there, but you got to keep fighting because you can't let your kids down. They're dependent on you. And that's going to be a wrap, guys. I'm the CPS Punisher, and we are out of here.
See you guys.
Young, inexperienced caseworkers and polluted with bribes, high-priced bonuses for speedy adoption of terminated parents, and judges who don't practice law with the Constitution in their sights. This is a problem.
They take away the fathers, leaving just a mom and cubs. They know that with that out the way, the better things will go. Breaking apart the family, destroying the American way. Our legacy is built upon our families of yesterday. Fuck CPS, fuck what they doing. Fuck CPS, they need to be ruined. It's all about the division of family services. You hear that the division, that's what they about. They prey upon the family, the ones that the dad's been kicked out. We can't stand for this abomination. This is the song that needs to play across our once great nation, making us aware of the problem. Stealing our kids, it's not mama drama. Stand up for those who are lost to them. We need to fight for the family, making America great again. CPS comes along with the mission to protect. The only thing they are doing is cashing in those checks, paid for by the souls of the children, diagnosed by a caseworker who is still a baby herself. They take away the fathers, leaving just a mom and cubs. They know that with that out the way, the better things will go. Breaking apart the family, destroying the American way. Our legacy is built upon our families of yesterday. Fuck CPS, fuck what they doing. Fuck CPS, they need to be ruined. It's all about the division of family services. You hear that the division, that's what they about. They prey upon the family, the ones that the dad's been kicked out. We can't stand for this abomination. This is the song that needs to play across our once great nation, making us aware of the problem. Stealing our kids, it's not mama drama. Stand up for those who are lost to them. We need to fight for the family, making America great again.